First time to the cabin in a few months, and they definitely don't plow the roads up here very much.
I just got a notification that somebody was at our cabin.
Yep, we are. It's probably, there's a foot of snow up here.
Mom, it's so bad.
No way.
I don't know what to do.
Well, it has been almost 3 months since we've been up here. So now it's time to see if there's any damage, if anything froze, if anything broke, if there's mice in anything, if the mice are making nests in anything. So we gotta look around. This is the real test, because if there's any mice, this is the only place they could make a home.
I'm scared.
I think you're good. Well, one of the biggest concerns we had up here was that there were gonna be mice attacking the place throughout the wintertime, and so far, I haven't seen any signs of that mice have been in here, so that's good. I'm gonna set some traps. But we have more important projects to tackle today, so let me show you the plan. Up here in the north of Michigan and at the cabin, we have very poor water quality. So one of the things that isn't great up here is we have to use all bottled water. We have to use bottled water for our coffee maker. We don't have the refrigerator hooked up for the ice maker and all that stuff either, because the water is just not that great. It's well water, it's an old well. I don't think it's a very good deep well, and the water just doesn't get used very much. So it just doesn't always taste that good. So we need some kind of a water purifier, and I want everything to work. I want our refrigerator hooked up. I want to be able to get, a glass of water, or fill up the coffee maker, Keurig, and all that stuff with pure, good tasting, clean water. So we have a sink, double-sided sink there, where we would like to be able to fill up a glass of water, be able to fill up our Keurig system with good, clean water. And then over here we have our refrigerator, which has a dispenser on it, has a water dispenser, and it has an ice maker in the pull-out freezer. So there's a little ice maker in there. So this is not hooked up, and I don't want to hook this up to regular old water from the well, because all the minerals and stuff, they end up getting into the coffee pot and the refrigerator, and they gum all that stuff up. It makes it rust, and it doesn't taste good. So we need a solution. So we have another one of these Glacier Fresh reverse osmosis under the sink or under the counter systems that we're going to install here. We're going to drill a hole through the floor. We're going to go into the crawl space. We're going to run a 1/4 inch water line or 3/8 water line, whatever it needs, over to this, hook it up in the back. So this reverse osmosis system will give us pure water for everything we need here. It'll give us good ice, good chilled water from the refrigerator. We're gonna get this unpacked, and we're gonna get this installed. It's not too hard to install. It comes with just about everything you need. So let's get this out, get it all laid out, and get this thing put in. So the fridge has a 1/4 inch hookup on the back of it. I've got some extra 1/4 inch tubing that I have had laying around. So this will get a small ferrule inside, and I've got a brass fitting that I'm reusing from something else. And so we'll just get this hooked up on this end first so I can get the fridge back in place. Yes, Leatherman to the rescue. So there's already a water line here, probably from an old fridge, and this used to be a clear line, and so you can see how much rust comes through in the well water here, just nasty. And this is what happens to the inside of the fridge and freezer and ice makers and all that stuff. So we are gonna shove that back through. We'll run our new line in. So this is the new Glacier Fresh unit. It's a redesigned model. It's actually a little smaller. It actually fits in here a little bit nicer, but this has the same cartridges. It has the sediment filter, basically takes out anything large. It has a carbon filter, which is good for flavor, takes out any odor and flavor from the water. And it has a reverse osmosis filter, obviously, which is what makes this whole thing run. It's a very fine filter that basically allows only the pure water through. Any molecules that are bigger than water essentially will be pushed out, and they will be pushed to the drain, and then only the pure water will be allowed through. These units are tankless, so it doesn't require any extra expansion tanks or anything like that, and these have a really good flow rate, so that's why I like using these. So this will just slide in here like this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the crawl space first. I'm gonna try to find this drain, where this drain should go down through the wall there. I wanna make sure there's nothing underneath this kind of area, and I'll measure over from that drain, and then I'm gonna drill a hole through here so I can run my 1/4 inch line up from the crawl space that goes over to the refrigerator. We'll get the rest of this hooked up, get the faucet installed, and we'll be ready for clean water. So the not fun part about this job at this house, the cabin here, is that I have to go in here. Okay, well, there's the 1/4 inch line I just threw down here, so that's good. Now we just need to go over there somewhere, but I should be free to drill anywhere. I don't think I'll hit anything, right? Okay, Summer, spin it. There it is. We wrapped up a lot of insulation in that drill bit, but that's where it comes through. Drill that hole out a little bit bigger and feed that tubing up there. A little help from Summer, and we were able to pull it back up through the hole. Got quite a bit of extra here, so that's good. This one is set up with, it has an all-in-one. It has a faucet, and it has the RO spout on the side. So you have 2 different handles there. This is for your pure water. This is for your regular hot and cold. So we're gonna remove this one, replace it with that one. So the 3 hoses have to get screwed in here. This just gets fed onto here and threaded in here. There's an O-ring that sits around the top. We're just gonna feed these all down through. And then on the bottom side, which you can't see very well, there's a this gasket, this little metal washer, and then this gets threaded on the back side of that. And then once you get to the top with it, you just tighten these set screws and it holds this whole faucet in there. So we have all of our water lines hooked up in here, and this is the fitting that it comes with. This little guy on the top here, this is just screws right in, and then the faucet just goes on the top, and this gives you your 3/8 hookup. This will give our supply line to our new RO system, and then the hot water obviously just hook right back up. So this is ready for all of our tubing now. So the only thing that I had to buy that the kit didn't come with is this little push to connect 1/4 inch valve, and then this 3/8 by 3/8 by 1/4 inch T. All this is gonna do is I'm just gonna hook this up to my supply coming off of the reverse osmosis system, so that I get our purified water is gonna come through here, and then this will hook up to our spigot on top of the sink. And then the T off here is just gonna go to our connection that goes through the crawl space over to the refrigerator. So we have clean water there. You could also put another T in here, or T off of this 1/4 inch here, and you could run to other things that you have. I actually showed in another video that you can hook this up to a Keurig machine with a float valve, and you can actually hook up a float in the water reservoir for a Keurig or a coffee machine. And you can hook up unlimited water, so you could split this off to whatever you want, so you have pure water to everything in your kitchen. Coming off of the faucet, there's a little push to connect fitting here, so that's 3/8 fitting, so that'll be an easy connection. And then there's one last thing that we need to do. It comes with this saddle connection. What this does is actually, because this has to drain, because of all the water we don't want, the filter is going to filter out, and that extra drain water, I guess you could say, is gonna go into our drain pipe here. And so this has a saddle. The other one didn't. The old version did not come with this. This is a lot nicer. So I'm gonna drill a 1/4 inch hole in this this drain pipe, and then we'll put the saddle right here. And it has a bottom piece, of course, that goes on the back side. And then we'll put our drain line right in the top. Ideally, this would go on a vertical pipe, but I'm not sure if this is enough space to put that in there. drain line's hooked up. Supply, or my fresh water, I guess, my pure water splitter system here is hooked up. Now I see my supply water, and that is gonna come right off the side of this fitting that they sent. So obviously these are just plugs that are in here. We want to leave enough room so I can take this unit out. So I've left a lot of extra slack. So I've got my drain that hooks up here. These little retention clips go on. Our feed or our supply here. These push to connect fittings are really nice, and I've actually never had one leak. You do want to make sure you get it all the way in there. You'll feel a little bit of resistance at first, and then it'll kind of give way for a second and pop in there, and once that's in, you won't have any problem with it. These little clips just help to make sure that this can't pull out. And then our pure drinking water, be our blue tube. Water's turned on. Get some pressure built here. It's pushing water through the filter system, and all the wastewater is getting pushed out to the drain right now. So once it runs for a little while, it does take a few minutes to kind of build up a little bit of pressure, and then we'll have fresh water available. So we'll test out our spout here first, and we now have fresh water. And we don't have any ice yet, but we will make some. So refrigerators with these kinds of water dispensers generally have their own water filter, so that can be replaced much less often when you have this hooked up to reverse osmosis, because the water that is being filtered through there has already been filtered, so that thing's not gonna really pick anything up. The cool thing about doing it this way is whether you have a reverse osmosis system already or you purchase one like this, and of course I'll put a link to the Glacier Fresh one. I've used a bunch of their stuff before. I really like this brand. But if you use this and you install it like I did, you can tee off from that purified water and you can hook up anything you want in your kitchen. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear from you guys. Throw your comments down below. Subscribe, of course, your first time here, and we'll see you next time.